Hi, Bharatana.
Hi, Roman sir. Sir,
How are
I am
you?
also legend. Huh?
Yeah, you are bigger legend. But no, nobody, cares about the legends at home. We are all feel fancy about people outside. How's everything?
Yeah, good, all good, all good. Just a minute. Yeah.
You're not wearing jacket? Yeah, Bharat, yeah. Eh?
Hmm?
I'm wearing, I'm wearing a jacket here.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
young blood.
Hyderabad. No, Hyderabad is not that cold like Delhi.
Yeah, nice. Always good. Right. So, yeah, you are a legend because you've climbed what? I don't know. You only tell. Let's start with your thing about your climbs, and so that people at least know that what we are talking about. Over to you, Bharat.
Hi, sir. Hi, everyone. Good evening. So, yeah, Roman sir, I was telling before, right now I'm thinking, to complete all this 8,000ers. Okay, that is the major thing, what I'm trying to do. Okay. So along with that, anyway, we are doing 7 summits. I mean, it's gone multiple times. It's from Boots and Crampons. I'm not that interested into doing 7 summits, but it's happening. It's happening good. We are doing with Boots and Crampons with our clients and all, but not you know, any separate and all. But now main focus is this. Okay, to complete this, and again, see, I always tell many people. So whenever I go to any 8,000er, it's not like me going to the 8,000er. I'll just wait for my team. Okay, I just want to climb with the team. Even last time we see Kanchenjunga, it was like big team, like 10, 12 people, and Annapurna, we are six. It's all friends team, no new, it's all known people kind of. Okay, that's why I love going with the teams, not individually, going with some other mountain, basically, I'm not a solo climber kind of.
Correct.
I feel bored going
Absolutely.
that way.
Yeah. No, that's perfectly fine. Even I relate much better once we have a team, leading there because the satisfaction of leading a team to the summit
Yeah,
is,
correct.
much more than personally doing some achievement. That reminds me, there's this guy, Gaurav, he's also online and he had asked a list of questions
Hmm.
about the climb. So I'll start with him, his question first, and I'll request anyone having any questions, please feel free to text it on the Instagram, and we'll be happy to address that. So, as you discussed, Bharat, so what he asked was the first question was that how is climbing solo different from leading a team?
Yeah. See, and both are in their aspects, both are different and both are difficult things. Okay. So yeah. So while I'll coming to solo kind of even I saw even when I'm climbing mountains and I see a lot of people coming solo and all solo climbers if you see Renault Messner, he don't there are many great climbers. Even this time I saw on Annapurna many great climbers around the world. They come solo. Okay, they
Correct.
climb themselves starting from the base camp, they just have base camp services, and few they don't even have. They just get the permit. Okay, establish their own tent at the base camp. Okay, they'll keep on going camp 1, camp 2, camp 3, you know. So it depends on the person. Some use ropes, some don't use even the ropes. They just climb with ice axe. They just carry 2 ice axes, they just go
Correct.
on themselves. Yeah, and that's completely a different ball game. You say you know. So when coming to leading the teams, it's again I love this kind of thing. Starting from arrangements, starting from pickup from the airport, dropping my people, I feel happy in that, seeing them
Correct.
reaching the top, that satisfaction. I love that. Okay. And a lot of
Absolutely.
challenges in different person with different mentalities, comes we see when we are leading a
Yeah.
team
Yeah.
of 10, 15, 15 people, again, yeah,
Absolutely.
it's yeah.
In fact, in the later part, I'll also cover this that, in case of a conflict at 8,000 meters, how do you handle it? But then we'll come it bit later. Right now, yeah, as Gaurav, you had asked, I think he's addressed it. Maybe he's taken a bit forward by saying solo meant, alpine style. Other solo could be that, individual climbers. If I'm going alone with the team, that's another experience. But then if I'm a team leader, there's a lot of ownership which comes, as Bharat was mentioning that if you're with the team, everyone has a different mindset, team leader has a different mindset, so amazing things happen, right? So Bharat, after Manaslu, Everest, let's say, why Annapurna?
Actually, we thought Annapurna as the ninth peak. We want to climb it as a last peak. Okay. What happens,
Right.
again, friends team, friends, we all come and, we'll shall decide, we'll have a call, what peak to go. Everyone said, "Arey, chalo, we'll go Annapurna." Just like that. Even you see, last time,
Right.
there were only 21 climbers. Okay. There are
Right.
21 climbers in Annapurna. I mean, all wide. Okay. 21 climbers. In the 21 climbers, two already left. They just came. And they just left. So 19 climbers. In that 19, we are six people. Okay.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, it happened that way. It's just like that. Nothing planned. Okay. We just thought
Correct.
before. Okay. Everyone said, "Arey, chalo, we'll go to Annapurna." So it happened that way. No planning, nothing. Just happened.
Wonderful.
Kanchenjunga, yeah. Kanchenjunga, yeah, even Annapurna, after Annapurna, we did Kanchenjunga, right? Kanchenjunga, this has to happen in 2020. So Kanchenjunga was not happened in 2020. Other peaks happened in 21 also, but Kanchenjunga not happened in 21 also. 2021,
Right.
there's a big gap for Kanchenjunga. So it was planned long back. So that's just we completed in 22.
Great. Now, without diverting, Mingma Tenzi is also online watching us. Hi, Mingma Dai. Nice to meet you today. So you are a legend in Nepal, and we claim that Bharat. And
I'm,
Bharat, we were
I,
discussing about you
okay,
as well.
right. I met Dai on Kanchenjunga.
Oh,
I
all right.
do.
Yeah, I was mentioning
I don't think
Kanchenjunga.
yeah. I think he was wearing that fluorescent jacket. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, I have no idea. I was
I
never on
think yeah.
Kanchenjunga.
Yeah.
Great. So, Bharat, Annapurna, for all those who've not been much into reading about mountains, Annapurna is magical in the sense that that was the first 8,000 meter peak which was climbed way back on
Yeah.
3rd of June 1950.
Yes.
And that was the peak, for the history purpose, it was not meant to be climbed because Dhaulagiri was the initial climb. But can you just go through it about the history of first climb or something if you have read? You had that book, right?
Yeah, I read the book, but again, names I'm not getting it right now. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
correct, correct.
yeah. That was the first. I mean, actually, if you go into brief, to people to get, they have to understand it, very brief. So what happened? Annapurna is the only peak where someone tried it for the first time and submitted. Okay, it's not like other mountains.
Exactly.
Other mountains like Everest. Oh, lot of expeditions happened. First this guy Mallory, he tried third, fourth time. Okay, there are many other people. I think it was climbed some 14th, 15th attempt. It was done.
Yes.
Same like Kanchenjunga happened the same way. Dhaulagiri, Makalu, whatever it is, all the other 13, 8,000 was not happened for the first time. So Annapurna, it's one of the toughest peak which happened for the first time. It was made climb for the first time. Yeah.
Absolutely. So even I was fascinated once I read about this, doing my homework, that it was the first peak which was, attempted and successfully climbed, way back in 1950, and the first 8,000 meters. So, such a magical peak. So Bharat, you also just mentioned, the most difficult. Why? It's 8,091. Everest is 8,848, but then the success rate is far, far low. I was just checking today
Correct.
about 5,000 people have climbed, Everest, but then only 250 people approximately have done Annapurna. What's so special
Right.
about Annapurna then?
Sir, one thing. See, okay, Everest, we can't compare any other mountain with Everest because, it's a first highest peak. So obviously, people will be it has got more craze. Okay, that's why most of the people go. When you compare other peaks, also there are Manasu, lot many people will climb. In Kanchenjunga was done by many people and all these things. So when coming to Annapurna, the major challenge, even most of the people they keep that peak as their last of 48,000 or something.
Correct.
Okay, the reason why the difficulty comes in, there are various things in it. First thing is acclimatization part. Because I'll tell you one example. This time I've seen two. They're one of the old top climbers. Okay, who came to Annapurna. They are solo climbers, climbing without oxygen, without supplement oxygen, and all these things, without Sherpa. Okay, but
Right.
these people climbed Everest. These people climbed K2, but these people couldn't climb.
Annapurna.
Couldn't climb, and they suffered a lot on Annapurna. I'll tell you the reason. There is no acclimatization on Annapurna. Okay, for example, these
Okay.
people who are going to Everest to climb without oxygen, they'll go to Camp 3. They'll stay for very good time, acclimatize well. They'll touch Camp 4. Some people touched Camp 4. They acclimatize well, and these things happen. So when coming to Annapurna, you can go till Camp 2 only, and that too Camp 2 what it was the height. I mean, it was at a height of 5,500 meters, which is almost like
Okay.
Everest base camp.
Base
Okay,
camp.
which is like 5,300. Okay, there's no much difference. So it's because like after that you can't go. I mean, once the rope is fixed, then only you can go high. Okay, and not like other mountains. Sherpa goes and fix the rope, and next day like climbers follows. Like it's not like that on Annapurna. Okay, it followed like just ahead of you, like the rope fixing team will be going, and I mean all the
Oh,
climbers will be following them. Okay, it was like that. So main acclimatization part. Okay, you can't cross 5,500 meters. Okay, so and one more thing, when you climb other mountains, for example Everest, okay, people go to Island Peak, people go to like Labuche East, like they climb 6,000 meters and come back. Like even in this Annapurna zone, there are no such peaks to go and climb.
oh,
Okay, so these are the major things. Okay, heavy avalanche prone, like when you're climbing, like left, right, taka, tak, you see like videos, like we captured lot many avalanches.
correct.
So there are major, many challenges. So that is how like it becomes main for solo climbers, who are climbing without supplement oxygen. Why this peak is like not only for them, for everyone, why this peak is more challenging. It's just because of acclimatization. And for climbers, there and for example, if you take any other peak, Sherpas can go up because they can do load ferry, come back. These things will happen. But with
Right.
Annapurna, like, how much a Sherpa can carry when you are traveling, both Sherpa and climber traveling on the same
Exactly.
day, like, it's not possible. So even there will be, a good amount of load on climber. Okay.
Correct.
This challenge. And there is one more challenge. And there are, you climb Everest, okay, we climb walls, but those walls, right? They are like, not ice. Okay, not blue ice. Here, you see on Annapurna, they are like blue ice. You have to like, you have to kick your crampon, like,
Oh,
with having lot of loads. Okay, these are again like heavy challenge. Body strain a lot.
absolutely.
Yeah,
That's way too much. So the number of camps is same, right? For
same
four.
four.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so rope
But,
fixing is done simultaneously once the team is climbing.
yes,
Wow. So, unlike Everest, wherein, some people say it's a tourist kind of a thing because everything is laid, tents are pitched, ropes are fixed, food and all, everything is there. So that kind of luxury you won't find on Annapurna, right?
yes. Not only. I mean, there are some other peaks like even Annapurna, like even like Nanga Parbat. There are peaks like where you don't get that kind of luxury when compared to other peaks.
Correct. Yeah, so that's why, once I was reading today, it rated Annapurna, K2 and Nanga Parvat in the same breath. That,
Correct.
this kind, it's a different league altogether.
Correct. Correct.
Too much fun. Excellent. So yeah, there was someone who was asking. So this year, Boots and Crampons did Bharat led both the teams, one for Kanchenjunga and Annapurna. So Bharat, how much was the gap between Annapurna and Kanchenjunga? How many days of recovery did you take before you started climbing?
I'll tell you, sir. Like, we did. Okay, actually, we started our journey to Annapurna on March 19th. Okay, so like, what we thought, we'll be finishing this climb before April 10th. Okay, because the Oluguri happened on April 9th this year. It was submitted on April 9th.
Okay,
Okay, so we thought the same thing. Okay, but Annapurna, it pushed us to like April 28th. Actually, in our third attempt, first two attempts failed. I mean, for everyone. Okay, there's a heavy snowstorm and
okay.
all these things. Okay, it didn't allow. Like, at one point we thought, "Arey, this is not the year," kind of. So somehow, like third time
Oh
it
hell,
allowed. Okay, so we did it. Okay, what we thought, like, okay, chalo, now Annapurna is done. Let's go back to Kathmandu. Okay, have good rest, good sleep, and all. I'll tell you, coming
correct.
back to Kathmandu, it stayed for 3 days. Like, 3 days, it's complete partying, partying, partying. Like,
Absolutely,
we just thought, okay, Annapurna, okay, done. Annapurna is done. Chalo, like,
correct.
that's how it went. Like, yeah. So full party, like, for 3 days complete partying, like, the fourth day, like, we flew to like, Kanchenjunga base camp.
Right.
So base camp we slept for overnight and we pushed for the summit. Yeah,
Started
camp 1,
again,
camp
huh?
2, camp 3, camp 4. Yeah, started again. Yeah, that was good again. So that is what I observed. Like, we struggled a lot and Annapurna proper acclimatization at 8,000 meters. Okay, now shooting to Kanchenjunga, done. Like, we were fast. Tuck, 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 tuck. Made it,
Excellent.
came back. Yeah.
So Bharat, just now you mentioned that, three times you missed initially on Annapurna, that, you wanted to go, but the weather didn't permit. So this was at what
So
camp
this
you were
was at
there?
what camp you were there?
Were you at Camp 4 that time?
No. There, see, once you cross Camp 2, that's done. We are going up or coming down. That's it. Okay.
Oh,
I mean, all the three times we were to Camp 2 only.
which means if the weather window is not there, you can't even go to Camp 3, right?
No, it's heavy snow, like, avalanches, like complete heavy avalanches. No, we can't even. No.
Yeah, that's the beauty of mountain. I think, because obviously I didn't go to 8,000 meter like that. So in 7,000 only the summit, we were there at Kun, same thing happened. The weather was totally packed up. We started at night.
Right.
Incidentally, we started, but then after half an hour, we realized, it's not the day to climb and we came back. And next day, complete whiteout. And third day, we got the window. Right. So for Annapurna, again, Gaurav Chaudhary had asked, what is more risky, climbing up or descending down?
Both. See, I'll tell you one thing, sir. See,
Correct.
people who are going for Annapurna, they are well done, well prepared. Like, they have that mindset, like, what they are going to climb. Okay. There is no, like,
Right.
even when compared to Annapurna, even Kanchenjunga, like, I just want to, like, share this. Kanchenjunga is more difficult, summit route and all. Okay. But Kanchenjunga is safe. Though it is difficult, it's safe. Annapurna is not like that. Okay. Mountain is not safe. Okay.
Mountain
So we are
because of the
prepared, no?
avalanche prone and
Because
all,
of
right?
avalanches. Because of avalanches and complete, like, even whether, I don't know in which geographical, area it is, like, even for the first three times we are shooting for the summit, we went with proper weather predictions, but, it turned opposite. See,
Correct.
it turned opposite means, like, there's a snowstorm and we were thinking, like, it's a perfect weather window and we are going for the summit. Like,
Well,
yeah. So these were the problems. Yeah, both. It's not about, like, it's same like other peaks, like going up, going down. It's common, but the problem comes with avalanches.
correct. So, I've heard Annapurna, there are different climbs, Annapurna 1, 2, 3. Which one do we climb? Which one
It's
is.
one. It's one. Like, they named it based on the height. Okay, the ridge come like
Okay.
this. Okay, the top points 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah,
Okay, that way, right?
we climb Annapurna 1, which is 8,091, and by Annapurna 2, I think it was missed by very low meters of reaching 8,000 meters. I think it's 798 something, 796
Okay,
something.
okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So, Bharat, for someone who is not into 8,000 meter climbs and all, so how is the gear difference from someone who is doing a 5,000 meter peak and someone who is doing a climb like Annapurna? How is the clothing gear? How does that make a difference? And what kind of special gear do you have to wear for that?
No, whatever 8,000 you take, like, it's the same gear. Okay. So what I observed on Annapurna is, like, the only difference what we have to check is crampon. Okay, that's what I didn't knew this. Like, even I came to know after going there. So my crampon, it's not, front foot, like, it's not that sharp. Okay, I'm struggling, like, to hit the, like, glacier. So these are walls. We have to
Right.
climb straight away like this. Okay. So, yeah, other than that, like, all the 8,000ers will go with the same gear. Okay. When compared to other 5,000, 6,000 meters, yeah, there's a lot of difference. Okay. So
Correct.
mainly clothing wise, like, even your mittens, like, big mittens, like complete down, you have to be with complete down. Okay. Clothing is the main part.
So, Bharat, since you've climbed 8,000 meters, is there any difference between any of those 8,000 meters as regards the temperatures are concerned? Or it's kind
Sir,
of same?
no, it's same. I'll give one example for this. Okay. When I'm climbing Manaslu, okay, it's just a cakewalk. Okay, but this time you see Manaslu, all the great climbers who did 14 8,000ers who climbed Manaslu this time, they tell Manaslu is one of the difficult mountain. So, and while we were climbing, and it's like, like, we don't know, like, when we went and we climbed and we came back. So it was like that. It's the day. Otherwise, all
Yeah,
the
that's true.
8,000ers are like, yeah.
No, in fact, you've always made me feel that, Manaslu is kind of okay and okay. And today, once we were discussing with Mingma Tenzi, he was saying that, last year we couldn't do Manaslu because, the weather and everything changed last year for Manaslu. Absolutely. That makes sense. Now, Bharat, coming on to, Annapurna specific, what is that one incident in the whole of Annapurna climb which, really made which you would like to share with everyone that, Annapurna became memorable because of that, or some specific incident you want to share?
See, one thing, whenever you say memorable, that memorable will be like very harsh. Okay, it's any sweet. We don't remember sweet memories. Like, something that sweet, it becomes sweet memory when we face that such a harsh condition. Yeah, actually, this happened. One thing on Annapurna, we were all the team. Like, we were like, yeah, with Riggs and we were 7 people. Okay, so whenever we go from any camp, starting from base camp to the summit and come back, we were all together. Okay, it's not like
Okay.
someone is fast going ahead, like, someone is slow, like, left behind. It's not like that. We didn't, because, like, it's all friends team, like, we know each other very well. Okay,
Correct.
that's how, like, we went. Okay, from camp 4 we started in the night around 10 o'clock. Okay, I mean, our summit took, because, like, we were all together going at the same pace. So we reached the summit at 2 o'clock. We were on the summit, we were taking pictures. There's this heavy snowstorm. Okay,
Oh,
heavy snowstorm. Okay, we can't even look. Okay, so, like, immediately we came down. We just came down, like, 200 meters. Okay, there, like, completely we missed the route. We were completely on the other side of the mountain. We just, we can't see
oh
anything.
shit.
Okay,
Correct.
we can't see anything. So, like, there are, like, okay, yeah, even Rexon was there with us. Okay, somehow, like, he's more experienced. Okay, when we see all, he was completely working on the mountains, like, he was with us, like, till the end and all. Okay, so at
Right.
one point, we were just, all the people, we are just, in a circle, like, we were. It was a heavy snowstorm. You can't even walk. Okay, so it's completely, like, blizzards. I mean, heavy blizzard, like,
Right.
you can't see the next person to you who is there and all. Okay, there
Hmm.
we suffered a lot. This snowstorm was there for almost 48-50 minutes. Okay, if it continued for the next 20-30 minutes, not done, we are gone. Like, we were just, some thoughts are coming to everyone's mind. Are, like, our day is done. Okay,
And
this is our day. And okay, so one advantage what we had is, like, that snowstorm was with heavy wind. So generally what
okay.
happens, like, we should, one thing mentally, we should be very strong. We should not give up. One thing what we thought is, like, it's coming with heavy wind, so it has to go away. It won't stay for a long time.
Yes.
Okay,
Hmm.
so that is what we prepared. Okay, chalo, it will go first at some point. So we had to stick to that point. Okay, yeah, after 50 minutes, done. Okay, it went and we gone. I mean, our route is gone, because 2 o'clock we submitted. Okay, yeah, coming down again, pitch. I mean, it became dark very soon. Okay, and we couldn't find the road somehow. Only thing is, like, we are just coming down. Okay, that's all. Like, mountain at that day, like, what we thought, mountain protected us completely. Like, it didn't
Yeah, but then it's
give.
so scary. Somebody listening to this would never even think of doing something like that. Leave alone
Uh,
Annapurna, they'll stop
yeah,
climbing.
yeah.
That besides. But tell me this, what intrigued me, you started at 10 o'clock at night. 2
Mm.
o'clock in the afternoon you submitted.
Yes, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So actually,
So,
basically, I'll tell you one more thing. Sir. Our team is, like, all the members. Okay, all the members are, like, very good. Like,
yes,
physically and mentally, everyone are good. Okay, but everyone has their own pace. Okay, that's what I'm telling. No, we didn't left anyone behind. So we were all
correct.
together. Okay, that's how our team took late. Everyone submitted 12:30 max. Okay, I think we were the last to submit at 2 o'clock. Okay, so that's how
Correct.
it took time. Otherwise, like, yeah.
No, absolutely. We agree to it, and then, as we say in the army, we don't leave anyone behind. So
Yeah.
that thing, obviously, not every time it goes as per plan. So at times we'll have to wait for the people. That's absolutely agreed.
Yeah.
But what intrigues me again, the second part is that you said you went on the different side of the mountain. But then on 8,000 meters, is it not on the fixed line that you are
Yes,
most of the
that's what.
time?
Yeah, I mean, actually, what happens, no, on Annapurna, like, when I told you, right, after the summit, when we come down, like, that 200 meters, there is no fixed line. Okay, it's a normal walk. Okay, there we
Oh,
missed it. There is no fixed line. So I don't say it's
right.
completely other side of the mountain. Like, we just, instead of taking right, we just went straight. Yeah. I think after,
Basically, you're not on the fixed line, that portion,
no,
right?
that portion, it's not on the fixed line. That's where the problem comes. Yeah. So
Oh,
I think
so that
after,
means there's no fixed line complete, huh? Right from, like for an Everest, from base camp to the summit, you're always on the fixed line.
on the fixed line. No, here it's not like it.
Right, right. Got the point. Yeah,
I think
that was the thing.
after missing that path, I think we took around 6 7 hours, like, again, to find that path back.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. We were on Friendship Peak on 5,000 meters. We lost the way. So I'm sure, 8,000 meter and that to Annapurna would have a different connotation. Now, other aspect of this, somebody who's planning, who has done, let's say, all the homework, run a 7,000 meter and all, and wants to do for 8,000, what kind of physical preparation after doing a 7,000 and what kind of mental preparation? These two aspects, how does a person train for it?
So one thing. So you want this with Annapurna thing, right? Not with other
Yeah,
8,000.
yeah,
I'll tell you.
yeah,
Yeah.
Annapurna and Jen both.
Okay, generally all the 8,000. See, once you're climbing Nun Kun and all see, it's a physical, physically it matches. Okay, the only difference is people has to understand using of oxygen, some people they face a lot of problems using oxygen for the first time. Okay, these
Right.
things are there. Otherwise, physical fitness wise, okay, fine, okay, but see, for example, Kun, we were there on Kun. Okay, we completed in I think on mountain it took us 16, 17 days. Okay, when I went.
Right.
Okay, so I you see the mental strength. 15, 16 days, that's fine. Seeing the same
Yeah.
white snow, that's fine. When coming to 8,000, spending the same for 40 days, that's the only
But how do
main
you train
challenge.
physically? How did you prepare?
It depends person to person. Generally, I mainly concentrate on cardio. I mean, it's not only run, mainly cardio. There are a lot of cardio things. I mainly focus on cardio. Okay.
Right.
Regarding the weight, I mean, weight training, and I don't, it again depends from person to person. For me,
Correct.
I'm not that much interested in weight trainings and all. Okay. My main focus is on, my lungs has to support a lot. That's how, I am a bit fast on mountains. Okay. I'm
Correct.
always cardio. And I mean, I see people, okay, even they do a lot of, weight training, you're obviously, your legs should be very strong, thigh muscle, calf muscle. Okay. Yeah, these
Mhm.
things.
And
Yeah, otherwise,
mentally?
yeah, mentally, it comes from experience.
Exactly.
It comes from experience, nothing
Yes, absolutely. You can watch whatever motivational videos, YouTube, Instagram, shorts, see, whatever they call it. But then, there's nothing to beat the experience which you gain, climbing different mountains, different
correct.
peaks. That absolutely. So Abhijit Dada is asking something like how much minimum kilometer that needs to run and what should be the speed? Bharat, anything?
So, I mean, that's what, it again depends. Generally, I sleep a lot. If I want to tell, no one follows my routine, per day, I sleep 10 to hours. Okay. That's how I feel I'm fit that way. I even on mountains, I'll be except that climbing time I'll be damn lazy, lazy kind of. It's my body,
Yeah, yeah.
it differs from I mean, everybody is different.
Yeah, Bijit. So, to summarize, there's no particular number you would say that, every day you should do a 10 kilometers, every day you should do a 15 kilometers, or this should be your speed. What is important is that you should know that, what clicks for you, what is working for you, and, okay, you're in Bangalore, it's fine, but then the more time you spend on the mountains, the more experience you would get, testing your body, what is working out. At some climb, you will see that, you are trained this way. If it worked, nice. Otherwise, you tweak your training programs and all that way. Right? So that's why again, asking same thing for a 7 kilometer run. There's no number as such which somebody can give you that you have to finish in that much amount of time. So and we can always connect on a call and discuss on that aspect. Absolutely. So Bharat, after Annapurna, why did you think that this within this short span of time you should do Kanchenjunga? Why not next year? And how is it different from once your body is acclimatized doing Kanchenjunga and coming back? Because you have to strike a balance between fatigue, because after 8,000 meters the body gets fatigued quite a lot. So how does that work?
I'll tell you 2 points. First, the truth is I paid money in 2020. It's all done. This is my last chance. I had to climb. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, correct.
That is done. Okay. So coming to once these days, I mean this generation. Okay. Last when you see last three, it started from last 3 years, mainly whatever it is, we have to accept it started from Nirmal Puja. Okay. The speed climbing. Okay.
Correct.
So now the people, this generation who are climbing no one is coming. You see, like, no one is coming for one mountain, like, almost everyone will be coming from the next season. Everyone, like, you see, you speak to any of the operators in Nepal, in any of the people are, like, getting quotations for about 2 mountains, 3 mountains, 4 mountains, 5 mountains, 6 mountains. These things are,
Correct.
it's changing a lot. So what I observed, I mean, I'm telling from my point of my view. Okay, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
me, like, even my friends were there, like, I mean, collectively I'm telling. Okay, so what we observed is, climb any peak. Okay, come down, complete down. Okay, complete down means like Kathmandu, what I'm telling. Okay, Kathmandu, or like, any other good place. Okay, so
Yeah.
if you see people, like, you rest well, you go to the hotel room, like, have good food, I can say party also, like, no problem at all, like, party well. Okay, I mean, just refresh your mind. Whatever
Yeah.
you like, just do it for just do it the 3 days. I can go back to the mountain. It will be complete fresh. I'm telling you, it will be more active.
Okay.
Okay,
So you
I
felt
may,
more energetic that way, huh?
yes. More energetic on Kanchenjunga. Yeah. We were, like, let speed and all. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing because yeah, so the way you were saying, earlier we used to have test matches, now the time is of T20. So
T20. Yeah,
the
that's
mountaineering, that's becoming the new thing wherein, people are doing multiple peaks in one season.
yes.
Now we also have Palkesh Kalma who has joined us. Palkesh is there next week, right?
Yeah, next week. Yeah, he speaks from
Kanchenjunga.
Dholagiri. Yeah.
Don't agree, right?
I want
Great,
to tell
great.
one thing about this Palkesh. No, when
Hmm.
when we were stuck in the snowstorm. Okay, completely. I was like, my oxygen. I don't know, like, something, like, I unable to, like, breathe is not proper. So
Right.
I snowstorm is heavily, like, actually, in my bag, even Palkesh was like, everyone is suffering, like. So I thought of telling Palkesh that time, like, Palkesh, there is a camera in my bag, like, shoot it. Then I thought, Arey, this guy will kick me with crampon, like, then I said, like, Arey, chalo, leave it.
Absolutely. Right, right. Yeah, so that reminds me, you were also mentioning about the different type of crampons you were saying, is required for
Yeah.
Annapurna. Is it because of the blue ice you were saying,
Yes.
which is there and you have to
Yeah.
dig?
Blue eyes, blue walls, like, say, whereas Everest, like, there are proper steps on it. I mean, it's a soft ice, but here it's not like that. Like, we have to kick the glacier.
Got
Otherwise,
it.
it will be very difficult to climb that with that weights.
Absolutely. So, Bharat, next thing which I wanted to ask was that, there's a thing at sea level, everything is different. Everybody is good friends. As you climb higher, the oxygen levels in the brain keeps going less and less. And at times, we have seen that, the temperament really plays a big role, especially as a team leader, conflict management between team members, because everybody would have their own mindset, when should we climb, when should we rest, what speed we should go.
Right.
Like a normal thing like rope up on a climb, somebody's pulling ahead, somebody's
Right.
pushing something or the other. How do you handle that, something like that on a big mountain?
So obviously, like, I'll tell you, even this time, like, even while coming down, we were on the rope. I told you, right? Like, everyone exhausted, like, everyone, like, frustrated, like, all these things happen. We'll shouting, like, Palkit was behind me, like, Satya was there, like, I was shouting, like, same, like, see, one simple logic is, like, if I shout on you, you keep silent. You shout on me, I'll keep silent. That's it. That is the only logic.
That is the Guru Mantra, I would say. Huh?
Yeah, that's it. Shouting is common. Okay.
True, true. No, no, that's very important because if both the people start shouting, then you got to understand that things are
Yeah,
not right.
that's like, yeah, it's not good. See, obviously, people who, I
Great.
mean, most of the people, 80% of the people who comes to 8,000, they have that kind of maturity.
Yeah, true that. Okay, another question which Gaurav had asked was that, in a peak like 8,000 meter, there'll be times wherein you would feel that, whether you should turn back or go ahead. Something like a snowstorm you just mentioned.
Right,
Once
right.
you taking a hypothetical situation wherein you are going to the summit, you are about 50 to 100 meters away from the summit, and something like a snowstorm happens.
Right.
How do you decide whether you should, push yourself ahead or you should turn back?
Sir, one thing, like, whoever, again, these kind of decisions comes when a person is experienced. Okay. Otherwise, like, there are a lot many things, we see, like, people going even in the worst, I'll tell you a simple example. For example, we are going to Annapurna. Snowstorm was hit, after we did the summit and we are back. If that was
Right.
happened while we are on the way, we might have taken the decision, alright, chalo, like, it's not our day, like, let's go back. Okay. But every year we see, like, there are very worst positions on the mountain. Like, people, like, they won't compromise. They want to go ahead. Lot
Yeah.
many things will happen. Even we can't, tell, it's a wrong of that person, because, like, there is a lot of time he spent on that mountain. Like, mentally they won't be, like, they'll become weak, obviously, like, spending a lot of time finance wise, like, a lot of other commitments, you know,
Yes.
all these things makes person like think negative, like, yeah,
True that. There are a lot of pressures some people create, because
pressures.
of
Yes.
taking funds, and
Funds,
it's an expensive thing.
expensive.
Now coming on to that fund aspect again that you just discussed. So Annapurna and Everest, there's a lot of difference in the costing.
Yeah.
Why that difference, you feel?
See, main difference comes with the permit cost. Whereas Everest permit cost is 11,000 USD, okay,
Okay.
which is close to 9.5 lakh. Okay, when you see any of the other 8,000ers taking permit in spring season cost you $1,800. You see the difference?
Oh,
It's huge. Yeah,
1,800, 11,000, huh?
11,000. Okay, so that is one thing, and obviously, like, craze aspect. Okay, so
Right.
yeah, people can
So
spend on it
yeah,
like,
it's
lifetime.
yeah. True that. It's basically supply and demand. There's
Correct,
more demand for Everest. That's why, they've kept the price high for the permit.
correct,
Basically
correct,
that.
correct. Yeah.
Great. So other thing was that, considering going to the base camp of Annapurna, that, Annapurna base camp trek, and compared to the Everest base camp, going to the base camp of Everest, how is the both the things different, as regards the trekking aspect is concerned?
So when we were trekking aspect, like, yeah, I've been to both the places. What I is like, it's almost like one more thing. It's almost like same, huh? But when
Okay.
you see Everest region, like, you see a lot of crowd. Okay, lot of crowd
Yeah.
and lot of options are there. Like, even you see, like, a luxury tea house, you'll get, like, luxury food, like, luxury restaurants, like, in between, like, what, some German bakery, some pizza, Italian pizza, and all these things. Okay, so when you
Correct.
see Annapurna, like, it's not that because
Correct.
crowd is less, like, otherwise, like, beauty is like both the same.
Great. So other aspect, just in case a hypothetical situation again, wherein, one of the team members at some camp is not feeling that, or altitude issues hit. So how do you handle that, or how do you avoid such a situation for a person who might be climbing some big climb in near future? How do you handle that?
Okay, see, one thing the climber has to understand. For example, I see generally, we were leading lot many people and all, I mean, lot many teams and all. What I observed is, like, people won't tell until the last moment. Okay, they'll be thinking, like,
Yeah.
if I tell, like, array, like, one thing, like, everyone are good, like, why I'm feeling like this. Okay, that is the main part.
Mm,
Other thing is, like, if I tell something, like, these people won't allow me go ahead, like, these are the major things. Okay, that's how finally the problem comes. Okay,
correct.
otherwise, if we know, like, what's happening, like, we'll take precautions. Okay,
Absolutely.
so obviously, like, we see a lot many people having issues, like, at camp 3, camp 4, all these things. Okay, so we try, there is, I mean, when you climb in Nepal, it's not like, Indian peaks, like, in Nepal, like, there's a proper rescue system. I mean, because anyway, almost all the 8,000 are in Nepal. Okay, so if any danger happens at camp 3, camp 4, yeah, obviously, like, you know, at to certain height, like, there is a chopper availability. Yeah. We
Right.
can push them in the chopper. Like, we'll try first giving them, like, Dexa, or, like, some people recover, because, like, even Dexa works, it depends on the person body. Like, if the person is heavily exhausted, like, even body
Right.
don't have that energy, like, to
Correct.
act. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, in fact, as regards DEXA, I remember my doctor clearly mentioning that, in case you are given a DEXA, there's no no question of going up. You just have
Yeah,
to turn back
turn back. That's it.
and
Like that's what I'm telling. See, people won't tell anything like if something happens at that point, nothing doing coming.
yeah, yeah. No, because I'm saying so because one of the companies, one of my friends went to Kilimanjaro and there was a mention that on the summit day of, can you imagine on Kilimanjaro they were giving Dexa for summit push, and I was shocked. I said, for us it was told that even if you're 8,800 meters and you're 8,800 say 48 meters is left, if Dexa is given, you just have to turn back, and we strictly follow by the protocols. And these people were giving Dexa at 5,000 of Kilimanjaro, saying that you go up.
No, actually, no. If those people, target is Kilimanjaro, then fine. If they have a
No,
target
but
of bigger,
true that. No, it's the company thing because these people were
uh,
totally clueless and
correct.
came to know. But then
Yeah.
let's ignore that. But yes, a very important point I realized that for example, somebody who's coming to Annapurna, they have to be of that level. Then only they'll come
Right.
for Annapurna, right?
Correct. Correct.
And in that, if there are 10 people and if 3 people are not feeling well, they'll not speak out because of the peer pressure. Because everybody in the team is generally same and they're super achievers kind.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So exactly that's what you mentioned. So I saw someone asking a question, which one is the best ABC or EBC for the first time? Bharat, Annapurna Base Camp or Everest Base Camp, which should be taken first?
So we can't tell that way. Both are good. Like both are same. Both are good. Okay. So it's only simple thing is Everest. It has got that craze. People saying they
Correct.
very close by Everest and all. Otherwise, both are same.
Yeah, so first
What
time,
I feel.
personally, I would say, since the height of Annapurna is less, so if height is a criteria, go for Annapurna. But then, if luxury and, again, same thing, that first time you could do on Everest Base Camp because the facilities are better, as Bharat just now mentioned, that, you have pubs, you have discos, you have, everything you can think of. Delhi we have never
Really.
been, but then those places you'll find them on Everest Base Camp.
Yeah.
So it's up to you. Difficulty wise, it's same. This year, as we were mentioning, we had a 6-year-old for Everest Base Camp also. So if fitness is kind of same, don't have to be superhuman to go to Everest Base Camp. And similarly, for Annapurna Base Camp also. So Anjan, yeah, I met this guy on, on Friendship Peak. So he wants to ask, will oxygen drops really works at those altitudes? What is oxygen drops? Bharat, is there anything oxygen drops you're aware of?
I think maybe oxygen drops in the body, I guess.
I
Oxygen
don't know.
levels in the body, what I'm
Instead
saying.
of oxygen, why not oxygen drops as they easy to carry? I don't know. There's anything called oxygen drops. Oxygen
I think
cylinders we've been using. They've been oxygen sprays, but then those we find are useless.
mm,
Those sprays which are there because they're not going directly.
yeah.
Okay, Charan wants to know what type of food do you have while climbing a mountain? Bharat,
So till base camp, fines are we have proper luxury kind at the base camp on all 8,000ers because we have to take such kind of food to get to store energy. Okay.
right?
So base camp is perfect. So when you keep on going to camp 1, camp 2, camp 3, camp 4, food, even at least. So camp 1, whatever cooked in, okay, in when you see Everest, even camp 1 is well established. Okay. But for other mountains, it's not like that. Okay. We have to make our, there is a ready-made packets. Okay. Hot
Right,
water, pour in the packet, just shake it and have it. And these packets will be veg, non-veg, rice, paneer, everything. Okay. These kind of
correct.
foods. When going to camp 4 and all, yeah, camp 4 and all, yeah, there are high altitude protein kind of food camp 3, camp 4. Yeah, it's same camp 1, camp 2, camp 3, camp 4, all packet food. Yeah, we just make it hot and eat.
Sure, sure. Okay, so Abhijit had asked, when Bharat sir did Annapurna. Bharat,
Yeah,
have you
this
done it?
yeah. What?
Yeah, go ahead. When did you do? You
Yeah,
did.
yeah. We made the summit on April 28th, 2022, this
Great.
spring. Okay, we started our journey on March 19th and reached the top on April 28th. Yeah.
Oh, great. Kind of 40 days, huh?
Yeah, 40 days. Yeah, it took lot much time this time for Annapurna. I mean, I told you, right? Now everyone are like with 2020, not test matches are gone. Okay. Because
True that.
last season it was happening in, I think, 18 days, 17, 18 days.
Oh yeah, that's right. Last year it was like that. True. What experience level is required for Annapurna base camp or Everest base camp? What experience?
Proper health, proper, I mean, basic, basic fitness. For base camps and all, anyone can come, like, with proper.
True that. So, even we feel that, Piyush Pant had asked that. So, we generally feel that, not everyone can do the summit because it requires a lot more commitment, lot more physical fitness and experience. But then something like a base camp, anyone with a decent amount of fitness and other things, what we look into is that, you should not have any medical condition. And obviously, you should be able to walk without major issues. If you walk for 30 minutes and ask for a break for 30 minutes, that doesn't work, right? So if you're okay with walking, no medical condition and decent fitness, active lifestyle, so you can do either of them, both uh, Annapurna and FS Base Camp. Have you had any discouragement? How did you deal with them? Charan is asking, Bharat.
Any discouragement?
Which means that somebody trying to in the team not behaving or you got discouraged कि यार गलती कर दी हाँ not feeling well, something like that.
No, it's simple. When people climbing 8,000 meters, all our mentality is like, chalo, light, take it light, nothing.
Absolutely.
We don't even think of it, what.
Yeah. Even I feel that for someone who has come to that level, you've been through all those stages. Once you did 5,000, 6,000, 7,000,
Yeah.
so you're above such things that small things would bother you, and you granted that maybe because of altitude issues somebody is behaving like that, ignore it, right?
Right.
There was another question: how much time do you guys sleep once you're on the mountains, Bharat?
I sleep a lot. I sleep I generally, night if I sleep at 8 o'clock, I'll get up in the morning around like 8, 9, 12 hours, continue
Bharat,
12,
you
13 hours.
leave it. You do the same in planes also. You
Yeah.
forget it. I have seen you. But then generally, other people, normal people, how much time do they
Yeah,
sleep?
many people face problems with the sleep. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because of altitude issues, low oxygen levels, all these things. Okay. People, whatever it is, like wherever you sleep on the mountain, 6 hours proper sleep, it should be. Otherwise, next day will be
Right.
done.
Yeah, so Charan, the thing is that, initially, first day, if you're at an altitude, you will find difficulty in sleeping. Once you get used to that altitude, slowly your body will get used to it. And you should be sleeping normally, something like sea level only, the kind of sleep you have at home, if your body is well acclimatized. So it's just more to do with acclimatization. Once your body is set, you are good to go. Abhijit, what's the maximum temperature in minus out of all five peaks Bharat sir has done?
So I guess we touched
Ma-
maximum. I mean, we can speak. I mean, it will be a minimum, I guess.
yeah,
Minus
yeah.
33, minus 33, minus 35, I guess. When we were hit by the snowstorm, yeah, it will be minus 35 easily. Yeah.
Correct. Personally, I feel, if it is minus 20 or minus 40, it's kind of same because your body,
Correct.
and that time there are so many things other than this happening that,
Yeah.
you're generally focused and such things.
Yeah. See, once you're
More,
active and
yeah,
you're
Bharat.
walking, once you're active and you're walking like nothing, like minus 40, minus 45, because body has got that, it will absorb the, I mean, it will
Correct.
acclimatize to that, whatever temperature, your body keeps on running, your blood flow will be moving, your body will be once you're tired and if you stop for more time, then the problem comes. Frostbite and all these
Absolutely.
things. Otherwise, nothing.
So, Bharat, what kind of gear would you wear once you're going for summit push for 8,000 meter? What will be the layering kind? If you can just touch
So,
on that.
yeah, okay. And again, sir, it depends on person to person. I'll tell about myself,
Yeah.
what I wear. So down suit is the one, all the people who summits, they might have seen the photographs. Okay. They'll be having red, green, yellow, all these kind of down suits, complete down. Okay. It will be a single layer, complete down.
Right.
Okay. Inside that, I'll wear only one layer, which is like a proper, North Face base layer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. I wear, I go that way. Okay. So I mean, people wear like fleece and all. I mean, that's what my body generates a lot of heat. Okay, depends
Guys,
on
don't
person to
listen to
person.
him. Generally, you would, something like a normal human being would wear a good base layer, followed by thermals, followed by fleece, and a down suit. Because yeah, there's an important point that as Bharat earlier also mentioned, his speed is fast on the mountain. So if you're fast, then your body stays more warmed up. But if you're taking a break after every step, that means you will not be generating that much amount of heat. So it's important to understand your body at different altitudes and then decide what works best for you. And there's no fixed answer that people would ask how many layers you wear. You cannot say 2 layers or 4 layers. If you feel cold, wear 10 layers. If you feel warm, wear 1 layer or 2 layers. Right? So there's no standard answer like that. So, Piyush Pant, what keeps you active in base camps during acclimatization days? How do you folks spend time? Great question, Bharat. So 40
Spending
days
time.
on Annapurna. What do you do?
Base camp. That's what I told you, no? That's what I love going with the teams of all friends kind of. Okay, a lot of time pass. Like we used to chit chat. Even this time we used to play something like we took some. I mean, because Annapurna base camp was big, flat area was there. We were playing with the ball. Okay, we chit chat a lot. There are different camps, right? Like not only us. We'll meeting different people.
Yeah,
Okay, so watching a lot of movies at the base camp. Okay, nowadays a lot of event series once you start watching they won't end.
correct.
Keep on going. Okay, so lot many things if you one thing I see people spending 40 days 50 days at the base camp. Mentally they got a lot of disturbance and all. No, that's what you have to be in a proper team. That's very important.
Absolutely. So, everybody goes through rough patches. Someday you'll not be feeling well. So that day, your teammate should come to your rescue. And it's the other way around. Once you realize the other person is not doing, so you do that. What Bharat sir did, ये तो हो गया. What experience? I think we have covered all the questions which had come. Right, Bharat, anything which you want to share about Annapurna specific, which we have missed out, which we should have covered as per you?
mm, yes, we covered almost
Great. So even I feel, whatever I had to discuss and interact has been covered. One more important thing, there's this book called Annapurna, written by the guy who climbed it first, Maurice Herzog from France, 3rd of June 1950
yeah,
they
heads up.
climbed, and it's the book you should have. Bharat, you would be having that, right? You were
Yeah, I
reading
was
it, I
looking
know.
for that only, somewhere I get it.
That's okay. So that book is the bestseller in mountaineering, and if you want to read just one book, this is the book you should be having. If you don't have message Bharat, he'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Right? No worries. So great interaction, Bharat. There's one more question. At high temperature, do you guys use skincare?
Sunscreen, yeah, except sunscreen, nothing. Yeah, everyone will use sunscreen, a good sunscreen. Yeah.
Yeah, sunscreen is one, maybe moisturizer, because the dryness in air is quite a lot, right? So that
Yeah.
again needs to be taken care of. So then I think more or less we have covered all the aspects. Next week we'll be back again. Hasfi joins us now. He's not studying or not sleeping. No worries. So next week we'll be back again with Palkesh. We'll talking about Kanchenjunga.
Dholagiri.
Bharat, Dholagiri, I'm so sorry. Dholagiri and now this. Great. So guys, thank you so much for being here. We really enjoyed, and always wonderful interacting with Bharat whenever we get on watch any. Bharat, last thoughts, anything?
Done, sir. Yeah, I'm very excited. Argentina,
Yeah,
are a very
yeah.
good country.
Fingers crossed.
Nice. The
And they've
only
won the
hate,
World Cup now.
yeah, they won the World Cup. They'll be more happy now. Okay, and the only thing is a flight. It's horrible.
No, no, that's okay. We have a good team, so we'll have good fun. So yeah, there were a lot of questions. Suddenly they've come up. Piyush Pant is asking, repeat the name of the book. It's called Annapurna. Right? Motivation in mountains. Ina Bhatti will come to know soon once you start climbing in April. Motivation is your determination once you are at sea level, that you keep yourself motivated. Why Annapurna is said to be dangerous mountain, then 8,000ers we have already discussed. Please go through the recording. After coming back, how many days it will take to recover from climate conditions? Bharat, how much time does it take for a body to recover once you come back from 8,000?
When you give me time to recover, sir, when I come back, you'll be sending me
No, no,
photos.
not me. I'm not talking about you.
Yeah.
You've
Okay.
you've slept enough.
Uh, Skin. See, for example, for me, for my skin, it will be heavy tan. Okay.
No, no, not skin,
No.
fatigue and other things. How much time does it take for recover?
If you come home 2 weeks, 2 weeks proper sleep, proper food, again you'll be like normal. 2 weeks sleep. And again, see, there are no answers for these kind of things. It depends on from
No,
person to
I
person.
think your wife takes good care of you. That's why you recover in 2 weeks. Your
Wife, where is
Mrs. Bharat is very good. That's why.
where wife?
No, no, don't want to share it with people. That's a different thing. Right? Okay, we'll close it.
Arre. Now people
No,
keep
no,
on. I mean, and we're getting messages. Arre, didn't tell us about your wife,
no, no. Bharat is not going to share. She stays in the village. She doesn't know about monitoring. That's why. Chalo, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week again.
Right.
Any fever? No fever, Charan. We are strong. Bharat is a strong guy. No, no fever at all. Chalo, guys. Bye. Good night. In case of any
Right.
questions, feel free to ping on WhatsApp or Instagram message, whatever. He'll be happy to answer that. He's totally Vela. He's a bachelor, so he has a lot of time. Right?
Right.
Bye, guys. Good night.
Chalo.
Wonderful interacting. Ciao.
Good night.